what made us want to start Komprise, for example, it's the third startup for me and my two co-founders. It's really the problems, because we learned from customers that they were literally drowning in data, and they didn't want another storage solution to the problem. They wanted something independent of all the storage and clouds that could give them a view of their data and help them move the data to the right place at the right time without getting in the way. So, it's the problems, when we see a problem that sounds challenging and interesting and a problem that we can solve, our background is distributed scale out computing. So we look for problems that we can address with a unique perspective. And data management is one of those problems, right? The scale of data is so massive, you cannot have a monolithic architecture to address it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think in the last maybe 10, 15 years, data has been one area, cloud computing has been an area. I think the third may be something like automation, the way we do CI/CD, DevOps and things like that. And it's probably about 15 years. Now you have the big players in those circles, and it's these overlaps where all this new stuff, all the problems we've just created, now we're starting to think about solutions to those. So one of the, I spend a lot of time talking to people like you and companies like yours that are creating solutions that didn't exist, just a few years ago. I'd say even the problem didn't exist. And sometimes I keep using the same analogy because everybody seems to understand it really well. It's like, imagine I tried to sell you an iPhone 2 years before it was invented. Take the computer, put it on your phone. And man, that's challenging. How do you approach that? How do you come up with, usually the people you're talking to probably don't even know that was a problem to be solved yet.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think data management actually is a little bit different than that, in that people know the problem very well. They just didn't know that a solution like us existed. I think that's what we're finding. And the reason I think the problem is very well known now is because the scale and pace of data growth is just exponential, right? I mean, you just look at it, 90% of the world's data was created in the last few years. And, data is more than doubling every 2 years. And, we can see it in our personal lives, right? I mean, look at your phone and look at the megapixels and the clarity of the photos you take now versus even a year or two ago. And look at how much memory you have on your phone. Every generation, you have more memory, more data, more videos, more fidelity, and that's what's happening in the world, right? That's what's happening in every field. For data management, I don't know that people don't know that there's a problem. I think the bigger thing we see is people don't know that a solution like us exists. Because data has been growing so fast, companies realize that they have to squeeze that data growth into tight budgets. But they always think the answer to that is more efficient storage. So they think, oh, if we just went to the cloud, this problem would go away. Or if we just went to our storage vendor and signed a better deal with them, this problem would go away. I think that's what we're finding, that we need to show them that every time they get locked into a silo, it's not solving the problem. They need to take a broader view. They need to make sure, all these different storage options are great, but each of them is good at a certain point in time for their data. So they really need a more holistic view of their data, and they need to be in control of their data. Giving your data to a storage or a backup vendor and letting them control it is not a good idea, because data is your corporate asset.
Yeah, it seems like it's the kind of thing that's easy to sort of almost postpone a solution. Like you say, just throw more storage at it, throw more resource or whatever at it. I mean, I do it myself at home even, I'm in the tech business, so I probably have more storage than an average person, but I keep movies and so what do? I just go get a bigger drive, or I get another one and create a bigger problem.
Yeah, we're all hoarders by nature, right? And it's not always a bad thing, especially in a business, because a lot of that data has business value. But that's why you don't want to lock it away into a silo and have no visibility into it, right? So I think the idea that you can actually, I mean, our customers always say, I wish I had known about you even earlier. I mean, this is so great. We can see all our data. We can tag everything. We can save money. We can move the right thing to the right place. And then we can find it when our researchers need it. But it's educating people that data management is not storage. Data management is a separate thing from storage. It should be independent of your storage. It should be independent of your backup. And even the data management vendors should not control the data. Data should be in your control. It's your data.